Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sane Minds. So, just this morning, Nancy Pelosi backs Elijah Cummings and blasts Trump as racist after Trump tweeted out that Representative Elijah Cummings, who's a Democrat that it represents Baltimore, has been a brutal bully shouting and screaming at the great men and women of Border Patrol about conditions at the southern border, when actually his Baltimore district is far worse and more dangerous. His district is considered the worst in the USA. And quickly, if we search it, we see that the overall crime rate in Baltimore is 153% higher than the national average. So Trump is not wrong when he says that his district is considered the worst in the USA. Not one of the worst, the worst district in the USA. And Elijah Cummings is trying to say that the Border Patrol has an empathy deficient, and that it is children standing in their own feces and everything else. AOC said that that women were being told to drink out of the toilet and everything else crazy, which has never been substantiated. There's no proof for that at all. There just isn't. And of course, when you call every single thing racist that someone says, even though it does never allude to race. I mean, look at this tweet here that Trump said. Says nothing about race. It has nothing to do with race. But of course, Nancy Pelosi says that we all reject racist attacks against him, talking about Elijah Cummings, and support his steadfast leadership. Now, he's the same one that said that Trump was racist himself for tweeting earlier in the week that he wants to see the progressive Democrat women, the squad, go back basically to the countries that they came from and fix the problems there in those corrupt nations around the world. And he even says if they even have a functioning government at all, talking about Ilhan Omar coming from Somalia, and then come back again to the United States and show us how it's done. He never even said that they need to permanently leave or just get on a plane and never come back. And he never even alluded to their race again. How is this racist? How is it racist to tell someone to go back to another country if they are in fact from another country, which 3 of them are born in America here, but I'm sure that not too far down the line their parents came from somewhere else. But he was mostly pointing this tweet at Ilhan Omar, who comes to America, takes every single freedom that we give her, that she's part of Congress now. She's one of the best jobs that you can have in the United States with benefits and everything else, and she does nothing but complain about America and say that we're racist to the core. A country who gave her a completely different life from what she would have had if she stayed in Somalia. We're racist to the core, according to her. And this is what Trump sees and hates. This is what people who support Trump see and hate. Somebody who's been given everything, still complaining. Still saying that this place is racist when we let her in. Obviously, she's not white. And that's, kind of the point, is that as Americans, as long as people want to come here and assimilate into our ideas and culture, we don't care what color someone is. That's what most Americans believe. That's what I believe. But somehow, Trump is racist for these tweets. Again, nothing racist in it. And that's because the Democrats have nothing to try and fight Trump with besides this. They have to label him as a racist, because if someone's a racist, someone's a neo-Nazi, someone's a sexist, you can dismiss them. You can dismiss every single thing they say from then on out. You don't have to fight them. You don't have to try and defeat their statistics, which are obviously on Trump's side when he speaks about these things. Baltimore is the place where, I'm sure many of you know, the HBO show The Wire. Good show. I like to watch it. But it was set in Baltimore, and it's about the narcotics scene, the drug issue and the poverty that affects Baltimore. And obviously, not everything's completely factual in a TV show, but it just really goes to show that this is a place that has its problems, that has issues, as these crime rates point to. Huge issues. So Trump's not wrong to try and say that this place is the worst and that Elijah Cummings has a huge job to do at home before he tries to criticize the men and women who keep us safe by patrolling our borders and trying to say that they themselves are racist, that they themselves are tyrants, when over half of the Border Patrol agents are Hispanic. They're of the same race that most of the people coming across the border are. That's the crazy thing. But people don't want to think about that, because when you think about statistics and you actually know what they are, you wouldn't believe anything the Democrats are saying. And that's the whole point. They don't bring any of that up because anyone with half a brain would be like, well, it seems like I'm getting lied to. But, I just want to let you guys know what's going on, that this is basically how the Democrats are going to keep ramping up this racist card, and in the end, it means nothing. If you keep calling someone something and they're clearly not that thing, what type of sting does it have in the end? What does it actually do? Nothing. It's just going to wash off like water. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can keep calling something else, but if it's not that thing, does it have any power? I don't think it does.